Hello, everyone. My name is Shahid Islam. I manage a blog, agency.managecoder.com. I share my experience running an agency for last 17 years. This series of podcasts, I'm inviting guests where we will discuss mostly how to capture US market. And we are really targeting people who are running their software development company, mostly in Bangladesh and India. I have a guest today. His name is Affan Chowdhury. Affan from Notionhive. He's the CEO and the founder. It's been pleasure welcoming you, Affan. Please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Shahid Bhai, for inviting and having me here. So, first of all, I think I want to again thank Shahid Bhai. It's because of his ability to help others that I'm in here in the show. So, he is showing the way of how industry veterans can assist smaller companies like myself in learning how to do things. Because honestly, a lot of us don't really know. And sometimes we don't even want to admit it, but I reached out to him to understand a little bit more, and he was always open, and he gives me a lot of time. So thank you for that. And this also teaches me how I can put the same effort forward to my juniors and other colleagues of the industry. So my name is Affan. Again, I, along with my co-founder, founded a small full-service digital agency back in 2015 with one employee out of Dhaka, Bangladesh. And then we have been growing slowly, modestly. We are around 60 plus employees currently. And we service clients apart from Bangladesh in Singapore, United Kingdom, and North America. I'm currently based in Ottawa, and apart from me, the entire team is based in Bangladesh. And we have clients starting from very small mom and pop shops to even some of the Fortune 100 companies.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. So, Afan, you and me were talking about, what is the difference between Bangladesh market when you were in Bangladesh. You have seen the both side now. You are in Ottawa, mostly dealing with Western client. What are the three things you want to tell people back in Bangladesh or India that when they are dealing with client in USA, when they are managing project? I had a discussion with you earlier about this, and I thought that was very interesting.
Right. So I think one of the first thing is I think the entire our thinking or perception towards work is quite different. I think in North America and in our region in South Asia in general. So for example, our quality of work, if I start with that, whatever we consider very good quality, say in Bangladesh or India, sometimes local in the local market. And I'll give a very simple example, and it will be more, I think, vivid for the viewers. Is let's say we have a website and we are creating a website for our client, so we are the vendor, and sometimes you will see a lot of websites don't have the correct content and the live updated content. So there are times when the website is live and it is there, but unfortunately the content is still either outdated or not even proper. Like maybe you'll even find in our region a lot of website which has lorem ipsum and the placeholder text even after the website is live, right? And we get away with it because our customers sometimes also don't give too much thought about this. But when you're seeing the same thing in the North America, it's not that all North American clients are like this, but generally, I think a majority of our clients I've met are quite particular. Like they'll even catch small spelling errors, spacings, things like they will check the website both in mobile as well as the laptop, and they will also give the link to others in the company or to their friends and family. And so when their feedback comes, I'm quite surprised. Initially I was quite surprised that they catch even the smallest of things which in our region we don't really think that these are very important. So I think the entire thing starts from a better understanding of perception of work. What we consider to be acceptable or good quality in our region sometimes may not be even average for North America. So I
That's
think
number one,
that's
quality of
number one.
work.
Yes,
Quality of work.
quality of work is definitely viewed as different. I would not say we have poor quality of work. The work that we have successfully provided to our region sometimes is not good enough for North America, if
I
I may
think
put it
you,
this way.
yes, you brought a good point here that I have over 17 years, I have seen similar things that what we feel is not important, it is very important. just like you said it. Contact us form is not working. We think it's not that important. The form is not loading properly on the mobile. We think it's not that important. Oh, I have done an amazing job inside the application, right? But visualization, how we display things, it does matter for a lot of clients.
100%.
Yeah.
So just the example you gave, Shahid Bhai, 40, I think roughly about 40 to 45% of people, and if you include, I think tablets, around close to 50% of Canadian audience comes from mobile devices.
Mhm.
So if my contact form is not coming live or is not working properly in mobile, that means I've just lost 50% of my audience. So if I had, let's say, 10 conversions that I would have gotten from my website this month, I just lost 5. And for an entrepreneur, they know how important that is. Losing
Mhm.
50% of your conversion is huge. It's like losing half of your revenue, so potential revenue. So I think that's how. So the quality of work and the perception towards it.
That's good. What about the second point you want to mention?
I think the second point is managing time, and I think overall time management. And
Mhm.
this is, I think, a bit of a like a longer conversation, but I'll try to make it as short as possible. So, for example, I've seen a lot of clients and partners, because we'll work with other agencies and partners in North America also. They manage their time quite well, meaning their calendar management, even things like using Calendly or a appointment booking system. I've seen it very regular in North America. So if I have to give an example, at least 60 to 70% people I meet here have their own calendar appointment booking system. So it makes time management, meaning the conversations and meeting managements and everything, very smooth. Whereas in Bangladesh or in our region, a lot of the times I see that it's like something that is not supposed to be even one email. A link where you go and book somebody's meeting is about six emails or 7 emails. And when that is being done across a time zone of 10 plus hours or 12 11 hours, it's a nightmare. So you're losing a day just to coordinate a meeting. So
Mhm.
so that's, I think, one part where I guess the time management comes. And another part of time management, I think, is, and I was telling you this, is the expectation management with time. So, for example, let's say a client of mine has emailed me that I need this change in my website, or there's a bug, let's say, within the warranty period, or it's a live site, there's a problem. So, generally speaking, in our region, what I've seen is people will first try and solve the problem and then give a response, or somewhere in between. But what I've seen very nice in North America and what should be followed by our region is an immediate response to the email and managing the expectation of the customer. So, for example, if the class customer is giving you an update or a request for uh, updating the website, say on the start of a weekend. So, let's say the weekend starts in Saturday, Sunday. So, it's Friday evening or something when it's too late for you to come back to him or her with a solution. You have to tell them upfront that, thank you, I have received your inquiry or your update or the bug, and I will try and give you an update or fix this within this time.
Mhm.
So that is what I think North Americans really expect, is an update. And the update is not necessarily an update regarding the work itself. The update is about what happens next. So that kind of clarity I see missing in most of our work in our region sometimes, when they're working very new with North America. As they grow, of course, now there are many hundreds of companies, thousands of companies out of South Asia who are working with North America, and I think they have learned this and they've changed their ways. But I think this is also very important, that the time and expectation management is not done properly by us.
I think it's the fear factor works. Like when I started the company, when I was trying to build the team, project management team, right, or coordination team overseas in Bangladesh or India, that they are so scared what to write, right? What if I
Correct.
make a mistake, right? So
Right.
inability to write that, what if I make a mistake? So I think it is also the leadership team who has to train these people that,
Correct.
how to properly respond to an email. And somebody needs to support them and tell them, listen, go ahead and reply that. And
Correct.
that does help. Other thing related to that, I have noticed that we don't use the vacation reminder. A simple tool, Google has it, right? When you are
Of
away,
course.
like Eid holiday, right? If you even set a reminder that I'm on holiday for next
Correct.
few days, or I'm on vacation for next few days, whichever word you prefer. They will understand that they will not expect.
Of
Or
course.
if you include that this is my backup person whom you can reach out directly, that would be helpful. So I
Correct.
think related to that, I have seen that case many times. Over communication is very important. So that's
100,
very good.
100% Shahid. But I think you've used the word, perfect word. North Americans or Westerners prefer over communication rather than under communication, and there is no harm in over communication. So as long as you're not pissing off someone, I think this is the way to go.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, Slack, Google, whichever way you want to reach out.
Correct.
So these are the two good quality of work and managing expectation. Anything else you want to, mention to the people who are actually mostly this podcast is toward who are managing a team. It's
Right.
not for regular employee, and
Hmm.
our goal always been the reason I am starting this podcast, that
Hmm.
people like yourself or whoever the expert who is actually coming to this podcast is sharing the knowledge where we can help those members to manage
Correct.
their team better. Any other advice from you?
Yes, I also feel, and this is again a bit controversial, but I feel at least a little percentage of the team, Shahid Bhai, should be in between of the two time zones. Meaning, what I want to say, having, like, for, let's say, for example, Bangladesh, there's a company that's supporting North America. Now, I understand that the rates that Bangladesh or India provides is very difficult for a North American company to get nearshore. But nowadays, a lot of American companies are outsourcing to companies in Mexico and Canada, what they call nearshore, and a lot of European companies are outsourcing to East Europe,
Mhm.
um, uh, for nearshoring. And one of the basic reasons for nearshoring is the time gap. While in some cases the time gap of 10 or 12 hours can, or 6 hours can be really good for time management, meaning let's say a North American client is giving you a work at the end of the day, and when the in the morning after 12 hours, when they're back to office, or 14 hours, they see the work is already done because of the time gap. So yes, in those cases it does work. But when you're working on more collaborative things like design, UI UX, and when you're working on tight deadlines, or like very important projects, sometimes that time zone gap is really difficult. And a lot of clients, one of the biggest concern, or issues they have with us, even when we are trying to sell our services, they point this out, that do you have someone who can contact us during our time zone or close to that? So sometimes for a Bangladeshi company or an Indian company to have a employee abroad or in North America would be difficult. But if they have someone who can start office, say, a bit later, meaning instead of 9 in the morning India or Bangladesh time, that employee starts, say, at 3 or 4. I mean, so at least takes care of not the entire night, but a little bit of the portion of the time. I guess then what happens is they might have some hours common where both the countries' time zones meet. And if you can have a night shift, that's like golden, which India has done in many cases, as you know, especially for their call centers.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that sometimes these nearshoring destinations will become a very big competition for us unless we can solve this third project management issue of time.
Yeah, so this is a very good point. Our company, and I spoke with even initially when I'm contacting any other company, if somebody cannot get back to me on my time zone, a lot of time, even our project, I have seen that their not flexibility is not helping. Yes, I do understand employee happiness and well-being of employee, but just like you are saying that we have to adopt, this is the reality of the business, right? We have to adopt and employ some of the people. We had a very good rotation policy for night shift, that certain, especially our QA team, they have few member working at night, they get extra benefit for that. Similar way, we have second shift, we
Right.
have a flexible schedule hour for some of the people. They would start early and then take break in the middle and then they join in the evening. Our project coordination team has been doing it for last 4 or 5 years, and that does help because client expect an explanation. Sometimes you send an email, they're like a simple question, they have it, and they're like writing to a wall, right? Your
Correct.
next email will come in when they're sleeping, so you are losing 24 hours.
Correct.
Imagine if you can reply to that email on the Slack, or if you reply to the email via Gmail, or join a Zoom call for 5 minutes. This solve problem for both of us. Because what happened, let's say if you are going ahead and replying next day, your developer is not working that time. Maybe the question he did not answer properly. But
Right.
if you can clarify the question within the, you also actually get more productivity out of the team.
100%.
Yeah, and
Efficiency
developers get,
increases.
yeah, because sometimes what I have noticed, the other part, that because of lack of communication and flexibility, developer do not get the proper requirements. So
Correct.
they spend the whole day doing something which is completely wrong.
Correct.
So I think this is a very good point. So Affan, I think we can go on about this topic long time, but our time is limited.
Right.
What I want to do, I want to welcome you back in future in
Sure.
details conversation, and maybe
Sure.
we'll invite you another way. What is the best way to reach out to you? Because I know that you are one person, I have seen that you are sharing a lot of your knowledge, how you are growing your company, and you are not reluctant. I mean, you are always sharing knowledge on the social media and asking people that they should reach out to you for your help.
Right.
What is the best way to contact you?
So, Shahidbhai, I'm very comfortable with LinkedIn. So, the viewers, you can find me with Affan Mahmud Chowdhury and Notionhive. And if you just search my name on LinkedIn, and also I will try and provide Shahidbhai with a link, my booking appointment system I mentioned in the first point.
Mhm.
So, I actually have that myself. And again, 100% disclosure, I did not have it when I first came from Bangladesh, but I quickly understood that this saves me a lot of time, and it's something people are used to here. So they'll not get offended if you ask them, here's a link, kindly book. I mean, I asked Shahid Bhai to book my time, and he has asked me to book his time, and vice versa. And it's okay. It's actually better because it saves me 5 emails to each
Mhm.
other. So that link would be with Shahid Bhai. It's a Calendly link, and I, of course, I'll be happy to speak to people, any individual from our region, to if they need to discuss more about how to get their business scaled to in North America.
Thank you, Apan, and hopefully we'll talk soon. Thank you,
Sure.
everyone. Thank you. Take
Thank you so
care.
much. Bye.
Bye.